Hello, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Sunday's Talking Town flagship podcast. It's 1:30 on the dot, and we are live across the internet, and we want to hear from you, the fans of Ipswich Town FC, this afternoon, because it's all going so well. Another victory yesterday. Town sitting top of the table, played 7. It's all just going far too well. I wasn't ready for this start of the campaign. I'm going to be brutally honest, but what a revelation! And last night, as I'm crawling into bed, some ridiculous hour because college football is back, and the Gov does love his football. What did I read on the Athletic? A McKenna article. So the secret is certainly getting out, my friends. The widening footballing community are aware of just who we have as a manager and what he is bringing to the party. We will break it down this afternoon. We will look at the Accrington Stanley result. We'll look at the fan forum. I'm going to ask the two lads today what 2 questions they would put forward to Ashton and co if they were there tomorrow. They may well be. I will ask them if they are going to be. And of course, as always, we will hand the microphone, the keys over to you to have your say via the live chat and, of course, with a live link. But first of all, I have to mention this, stress it, ask you, beg of you, plead of you. It is the last day to vote today for the Football Content Awards. It would mean the world to myself, the 2 lads you will see this afternoon, and the whole Talking Town contributor family. If you could vote for us, obviously, we all give up time. We all put the show as priority as we can, and work tirelessly to put these shows together. So if you could spare it a second to head to the link in the chat or description, or if you're listening on audio platforms, it is in the blurb of your show, and vote Best Podcast, Football League, Talking Town. And of course, I will, once again, as I have asked for the last couple of weeks, ask you to vote Richard Moss as best influencer, and we'll find out why I think he deserves that in just a second. But the link is in the chat, and if you voted one way, I think you can still vote all 3 ways on the website, the Twitter, and the Instagram. So you could put 3 votes in for Talking Town and the fan platform by fans for fans. And if you're listening on audio platforms, don't think it's too late. It does close today, Sunday the 4th, but I'm not quite sure what time that is. So if you're listening on an audio platform today, go and just check it out. Find out. Try and see if you can still vote for us. Right? I mentioned him. I threatened him. Here he is. El Capitan.
The Cruncher. Richard Moss.
You're talking utter fucking...
Hello, my man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, mate?
I'm very well. Now, I mentioned you, best influencer. Where are we on the latest good thing you are doing for the community, which is, of course, raising money?
Last day today. Hopefully, breaking news, hopefully I'll be in the studio on Saturday at Radio Suffolk.
There you go.
1 till 2. Hopefully going to be in there. So this is the last day. I still got a few people who will probably donate mine after tonight, but the main, I want to get it wrapped up now. So if you want to donate, you know where to go. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. £2,110.
How much?
£2,110.
Wow, that is amazing. Again, that is the reason why, you've got that. You had Pack Up PR where you did the painting set of tickets. There's so much stuff that you do. And of course, if you ever wonder, is he really an influencer? Just wait for Rich to tweet something, and there's about a gazillion web pages cropping up with Richard Moss has done this, said this, is this. He's got a whole Sky Sports photo array, it looks like.
Oh, that's great. That is. There's
You're at Sunderland, Newcastle, I saw.
Yes, at Newcastle yesterday with me. I was doing the game for Gillette Soccer Saturday, when I with my headset on.
Some of the stuff.
Also, if anyone's in the chat that wants to get involved in the ticket giveaway for Cambridge and Bristol Rovers, It's a double ticket giveaway, Martin. We're top of the league. There's going to be, what do you reckon, 27, 28,000 there on Saturday for Cambridge?
Well, it's a geography. It's a local derby in geography sense, not in any other sense. I will stress. But yeah, pack it out. Yeah.
If you want to be there, we've got a record 31 in the draw.
You know,
but you've got to be able to do both games because it's a double ticket giveaway. So there's only going to be one winner, and you're going to get tickets for Town v Cambridge and the Bristol Rovers game on the Tuesday night. So if you want to enter, hop over to Twitter, screenshot your subscription, and send me a direct message, and then I'll put you in the draw.
Yeah, absolutely. Get involved, and you never know. You may be the person going to Portman Road to see us beat Cambridge. Hopefully, we also have a shirt giveaway to be done.
Doing it again.
Well, we've got to. I hate it, but look, here it is. There it is. I'm just going to hit it in the background because I hate it. It slows my computer down. As you can see, it is spinning. It is spinning. It is spinning. So, who is the winner today? The winner today of the shirt, because it hasn't been claimed yet, is, well, that's good, isn't it? Nobody. No, that sums it up, really, doesn't it? That really sums it up. That really sums it up. Please, if you are pulled out of this, please come forward, because I literally am pulling my eyeballs out every time I have to load this random wheel up. Sandy, you have won. Sandy, please come forward and claim an Ipswich Town shirt. I see these shirts everywhere. I think no one's claiming it, Rich, because everyone's already got one. They're everywhere.
Well, they've had record sales of the black one, haven't they? I know that. That should be dropping, I think, about the middle of the month. If you've ordered that, that should be coming through your from the postman.
I went for a dog walk yesterday, and everyone, man, woman, child, was wearing an Ipswich Town shirt. It was brilliant, but also I was thinking that's why they're not coming forward to claim their shirts, because
there's somebody out there who hasn't got one.
Well, Sandy, if you've got one, just come forward and claim it anyway, because you then are responsible to giving it to someone else, not me. That's I just want rid of this shirt responsibility, to be honest with you, Rich.
This could run and run and run.
I don't want it to. It's a gag I don't want.
Just got a funny feeling it's going to run and run.
It's a gag I do not want. James Welmer, anyone who doesn't think Richard Moss deserves a vote is then talking utter effing balls. Right, let's complete the lineup and get straight into the Accrington Stanley conversation. He is your partner in crime, your hard truth tag team champion,
the media mogul.
We've just lost the teenagers. It's absolutely embarrassing.
Matt Phillips.
Mr. Phillips, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I've just been chuckling over that draw and thinking it could go on for so long. It could be for next season's shirt.
Don't start, man. Don't start. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But I am loving the football at the moment. A 2-0 victory away from home against Andy Holt and Coleman's Accrington Stanley. How are you feeling about it? Because obviously, when Town are doing well, I buzz and my weekends just sort of float, and it's amazing. How are you?
I was nervous yesterday, I've got to say. As the game went on, I felt like it was either going to be a draw or they might just snatch one with their first proper chance. But we pulled it out, and you boys said it, didn't you? This is a mental hurdle to get over, isn't it? If we were to go to the Crown and get a result there. And we did it. I mean, we left it late, but the game is 90 minutes, isn't it? It's not an hour. It's not 45. It's 90 minutes. And we left it late and we did it. And as a lot of people, I think, said on our Discord and on Twitter, that might have been a game that would have ended up 0-0 last season, or worse still, I don't know, like Oxford.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right there. Yeah.
Did you manage to catch Coleman's post-game thoughts? Have you seen that video?
He looked like he had the ump when he come on the pitch at the end. When he was chatting to the officials. What was the issue? It sounded salty.
Stephen Parry said he sounded a little bit salty. He wasn't overly happy, was he, Rich?
No, you could say that. He didn't think they deserved to lose. He was bemoaning that we can bring on all these strikers off the bench. He brings his main striker on within 5 minutes. He's done his hamstring. I did agree with him. I did agree with him, guys. I don't know if you did, about the free kick that they should have had leading to our second goal. I thought Evans wiped out the guy on the edge of the box. The referee was crap for both sides yesterday. He was very poor.
Yeah.
Second week running. Look, at the end of the day, if you're John Coleman, have a word with your defenders, Matt, because you're doing well for 76 minutes. And then if we'd have given a goal away, number 10 has side foot volleyed it in from 8 yards with nobody near him. If we'd have conceded a goal like that, we would have been losing our minds, wouldn't we?
I don't care if John Coleman thinks we were lucky to win, didn't deserve to win, or whatever. The fact of the matter remains, we scored 2 goals and they didn't. So It doesn't really bother me what he says. And we've had to suck it up last week when we had a perfectly good goal chalked off, and we would have to go, okay, it's 2-2. We'll have to take the point when really we should have had 3 through an error. And, that's just football. They'll get lucky. Accrington at some point. We've seen it within a week. We felt robbed last week, and then suddenly, we've out of nowhere, we've scored 2 goals. A debatable corner maybe for the Chaplain's opener. I mean,
they didn't really argue it. They didn't. It was only the commentators, the Accrington commentators. I didn't see any players complaining to the rest.
If you listen to the Accrington commentary, they were like, I don't know, But look, whatever John Coleman thinks, immaterial. Now we've won the game 2-0. We're top of the league. Viva la Tractalona!
Absolutely. James Warren Elmer, have you seen Coleman's comments? Apparently, we were lucky to win. Max Fax, not sure what game Coleman was watching when he said Stanley were the better team in the second half. Dreaming. I'm with you, Max Fax. When he said they didn't deserve to lose, I thought, really? I thought you totally deserved to get beat. I thought we were the better side once the changes, but we'll come on to that. Exactly. You can see 2 goals at home. You're going to get beat most times than not. Daniel Clark, another great result, another hurdle we've jumped over. Complete bitterness by their manager to say they shouldn't have lost. Highlight and stats all in our favour. He's not under pressure. No way. Not a Stanley.
He's
Andy
never
Holt
lose his job. I think what you're seeing with some of the saltiness from him and maybe some other clubs, it's the fact we've rocked up and throwing crumbs to the minions. We've signed all the players that everyone thought was going into the championship, and we bring them off the bench, and people don't like it. But then whoever's at the top, people want to bring down, don't they? So
they certainly do. It's like how Targaryen turn up with their dragons. Everyone's jealous because you got dragons. We've got people off the bench that are going to slay you. Wipe you out.
During the Evans era, people didn't even know what division we were in anymore. That's at least we're making some noise, eh, Rich?
Hey, my wife this morning said to me, "Why are you suddenly watching all this football at weekends? You've not." I didn't know she did, honestly, because I put the EFL highlights on, and then I watched the Premier League last week.
She took that box away and said, "Right, that's going off. There's some chores for you."
I didn't think you liked football. I said, "No, I love football when Town are doing well. When we're not, it's the worst thing in the world." I'm suddenly all over football again. I'm like watching the EFL highlights. I'm looking at Premier League games.
Oh my God. You're reborn.
I've been married 8 years. She thought I didn't like football. Do you know what I mean?
Don't go on Mr. and Mrs. then. Does Martin like football? No.
Well, under previous regimes, I hated football. It was like, get it the furthest away from me. But when we're winning, honestly, I'm an all consumer. I love it. Like 606 last night in the Avery. Portsmouth fan, Rich. His words just from memory. Chucking cash at it. Even Sutton said, I don't think.
Did you read the Norwich fan, Martin? I think he was the Norwich fan after him saying that
he did. Yeah.
He wasn't really sure if he wants to get promotion. This Norwich fan said, Matt. I understand where it's coming from because it's like they go up and then they're an embarrassment and then they come back down with.
Please get promoted.
A wad of cash.
I enjoy it. With a wad of cash. If anyone needs to know how big an influencer Rich is, when I tuned into BBC Sounds, he said, I'm going to be on later. They actually they gave him a trailer.
Mine was bemoaning that Radio Suffolk normally have 3 to 5 callers. I said they only need one. They only need one.
I haven't listened to the post-match phone-in for donkeys. Well, since I've done this platform actually, but I thought, you know what? I wanted to hear what.
Up mine.
Well, yeah, it did. Yeah,
rings up and moans.
£2.
Go for it. £2.
Alex Avis, League One rest for you guys. Alex, we love that comment. We love the £2. It is certainly, but. Let's look at this.
Mac goes, joining us for the first time this season. It's Rich. If you want to join, exactly who that's going to be, don't you?
I was on 2 times speed and I was still fast forwarding. Not through you. I will quickly add. No, not through you. Not through you. I
just found that this morning. I just found that on the WhatsApp.
It's great, isn't it? It's a game changer.
When the fisherman sends me a voice clip for about 8 minutes, I can put it on. Is it times 2? Is that the quickest?
Yeah.
I can listen to that in no time. Brilliant.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I do like Mike's voice notes, by the way. They're very entertaining.
Right. Yesterday, we won 2-0 in the end, but it was, for me, a game of not 2 halves, of 160, and then the rest of the game. For the first 60, Matt, we puff 0-0. Obviously, the talking point is the team selection. Jackson got the nod up front. How did you see that first 60 and the team selection from McKenna?
Yeah, frustrating. I mean, we was all going back and forth on WhatsApp, weren't we? Going, that cross is crap. Find a blue shirt. So I mean, they made it. Look, we often say, don't we? People just think we're going to rock up there and roll these teams over, and like, we've struggled with Burton. We did struggle yesterday, but they all play very similar. Their press was really good, wasn't it? I mean, look, as we've seen, Coleman doesn't like the fact we had all these players and we got depth on the bench. So how do you stop us playing that passing game? It's via the press and getting a little bit physical. And we do seem to struggle with that. But as we said earlier, once the game, is 90 minutes, McKenna has got the artillery on the bench to bring on and maybe change it up, which is eventually what had happened. But yeah, we did. I felt like we did struggle. And, their probably best spell was probably the first 15-20, wasn't it? Accrington's best spell, I think. Didn't really like scoring after that, particularly. A couple of half chances. So yeah, brilliant. Brilliant that we could dig it out. But you have to give Accrington credit. I thought they competed. I'm not sure if some of our fans thought they would compete to that level. Yeah, fair play to them. But at the end of the day, we got the 3 points where we've struggled in previous seasons, haven't we?
A few on the post-game show, Rich, felt McKenna's opening 11 was perhaps not the right 11, but you were 0-0 at the changes. So you weren't losing, you weren't trailing, you were very much in the game. But the mentality and the mindset and the physicality, I was surprised personally Ladapo didn't start because we spoke Friday. It's a war at Accrington Stanley. Alex Wilson called them the gatekeepers of League One. And they very much are, Rich. And,
Look, I don't think they're the team that they were. I know we all sat here Friday when we done our the Friday night presser. I think we might have over-egged them a little bit. They've lost players, Martin. They've not got Bishop's gone, Harry Pell's gone, Ross Sykes has gone.
Oh, Sykes, yeah.
Nottingham, the big guy, he weren't playing. So they've lost a lot of physicality. I don't agree with Kelly saying they're anti-football. They weren't smashing it around yesterday. They played as good a football as we did for an hour. It was only our changes that changed the game. They weren't lumping it because they didn't have the people on the pitch to lump it to like they would have done in the past. It was like I said to you at half time, guys. I said the subs will win this game. The subs were going to win the game. You could see that they brought their main guy on. Lasted how long? 5 minutes.
Bless him.
Yeah,
his hamstring, didn't he? Didn't probably warm up properly.
Maybe. Yeah,
possibly.
But he went off. And if you're a centre half and you're thinking, right, I've had Jackson, I've had John Jules, they troop off. You got Ladapo comes on. You got Connor Chapman comes on. Ahadmi comes on a bit later. Jackson, it wasn't his game yesterday. I think if you listen to McKenna's comments after the game, Martin, I think the way they set up was a little bit sort of, it took him by surprise. That's why he played Jackson. They thought there'd be some space behind him. He probably done his best work out wide, didn't he, Jackson? Where he's the main striker. And I think he's not that man who, away from home, he's going to... And another thing, I think, it's quite a narrow pitch there, isn't it, at Accrington? And you've not got a lot of space. So I was a bit surprised that he played him. I didn't agree with the Fisherman's 1 rating.
That's disgusting. I
think that's disrespectful, if I'm being brutally honest. Caden Jackson, listen, he's not the greatest footballer. He works his socks off. That's one thing. You can never, ever say that he doesn't work hard. And he done a lot of running yesterday. And then, like I say, after 60 minutes, he's done his work. And then they come on and you're thinking, bloody hell. And we are in a very fortunate position, Matt, that we've got these people to come off the bench. Jackson, would I have started him? Probably not. I wouldn't have started him off. Maybe certain games I might, but not as that central striker, Martin. Because I think in the first half, it was like
just
Matt
bouncing
said,
back.
First 15 minutes, it was probably they were probably on top. They had a couple of chances. The guy on the right hand side of the area had a shot, Walton saved it. But after that, I thought we were comfortable without really threatening them. I think we were in second gear. I think we were a little bit lazy sometimes in possession, Martin, in the final third, give the ball away a bit sloppy. I didn't think Harness had his best half, but then he wasn't playing where he normally plays, was he? So then we made the subs after 60, 65 minutes, and they made the difference. And I think this is what we will find out throughout the season, that we're going to have this advantage over a lot of teams with the bench that we've got.
I haven't said anything yet.
No, you were on mute.
Was I?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I was about to talk. I was waiting for you to finish. I was waiting for you to
What
finish.
did Lee
Sorry.
Anderson call them? The finishers.
The finishers, he did. Yes, I liked that term yesterday. I did like that term. Quite. I never heard that sort of spoken about in terms of football and substitutions. They're not subs. They're finishers. Good term. I like it. I did think yesterday though, Matt. We did invite us our own pressure, and I wouldn't call them anti-football Accrington. I'd call them margins. They play for the margin. So the second ball, the set piece. That's what they do because they exceed or try and be better than you at the free stuff, the stuff you can't afford.
Yeah, I mean, just look at what their transfer window was like. Here we are signing people from Burton.
That lad, come on, who we spoke about on Friday with Andy Holt, Matt. He was playing at Clitheroe.
Clitheroe.
I'm glad to say we're spending fees in getting top players off promotion rivals like Plymouth, and they're bringing people in from bloody Clitheroe. So, they ain't going to go toe-to-toe to play football. You've got to do their remit and what Andy Holt wants and Coleman is to stay in that division. And they'll do everything they can to do it. And if you don't like that style, fair dues. But, they're a community club. They're all in it together. They've all been on that journey together. You're not going to get any glory hunting fans with Accrington, are you? And they'll do whatever they can do to stay in League One because that's like being in the Championship to them when you think where they've come from. But we did reduce them to like some half chances. I mean, that Tommy Lee we mentioned, didn't we, Friday? He had that shot from just inside his own half, didn't he, trying to catch Walton off his line, which was a great effort, actually. But yeah, I mean, full credit to him. Coleman's got a bit salty. Okay, it's football. That's what happens. But, do what you need to do. And, if they press us, they got good energy. And in the end, it wasn't quite enough against our quality. But I'm going to say with Jackson, like Rich said, McKenna said that they started out a little bit different to what was thought. But I think Caden put the work in. But everyone seems to be having to come very deep to get the ball because of the Accrington press and making it difficult to pass through the lines. I think
the main space we got in that first half was down that left-hand side, wasn't there, Martin? There was a big hole there where Leif Davis was getting in quite a lot.
Yeah, because you hardly saw Burns, did you, first half, particularly?
No. But this is what we're going to get. Like, I was speaking to the fisherman this morning about Wes Burns, and it's good now that we're not relying on him because it was all down that right-hand side last season. And if teams are going to put a couple of players on him or change their system or whatever, there'll be other spaces on that pitch to exploit. And I think first off, we've done that quite well with Davis. I thought he had a really, really good game again, Martin.
Yeah, he did. And then as we said that post-game show, as the threat down the left was starting to develop, Accrington maybe changed their priorities, and then in turn created some space for Wes. And then Wes came into the game. And it's just that having that natural balance and ability, sort of both sides, that causes team. We didn't have that last year, and we've suddenly got that a little bit.
Yeah.
Jem brings Burgess into the conversation, so that's a great point to bring Burgess in. Obviously featured yesterday. Edmondson not in the 18, Keogh on the bench. Largely given man of the match by a big section of supporters. How did you see his performance yesterday back on his home soil?
I thought he'd done pretty well. You could maybe have predicted he was going to be in there against his old club. When he played for Accrington, he never played in front of a crowd. He was only there for a season, wasn't he? In the lockdown season.
There weren't much one yesterday, to be fair.
Was it 3,069?
Yeah.
I put a tweet out saying some of our shows combined over the last 24 hours was hitting that mark. I think he done what you wanted. Solid. I think it helped that they didn't really have a very good goal threat, than what they've had in previous years. Like, your Harry Pell moving forward. Who was the lad? Bishop, who went to Pompey. So that probably helps a little bit. I think it will be a little bit different against Cambridge next week when you've got Joe Ironside and the like. Maybe playing in a similar way to what Barnsley did.
Sam Smith, Matt, for them, he's decent as well.
Yeah, but look, Burgess can only do what you can do against, the strike force he was up against. Play against who you got.
We often talk about our strikers. McKenna will play who he believes your position can't handle. So Jackson yesterday, because he felt there'll be a space in behind, exploit that pace. I think the same goes for your centre halves, does it not, Rich? Yesterday, we all expected the physicality, the bombardment, the set pieces that they're always good at. Just look at who normally tops the assists in League One to see how good they are at set pieces. Burgess is strong in the air. I mean, he would probably head away agree on Edwards' free kick.
If he can reach it. If you look at like the league games that he's played at where's he played? Shrewsbury, he played at Forest Green, and he's played yesterday. Would I start him against Cambridge? I don't know if I would, because we're going to have more of the ball, I'd have thought, at home, and you're on the front foot. And look, I think he has improved massively under Kieran McKenna. You know, he's not just a big guy who just lumps it and heads it and stops the ball. I think that's probably been a bit disrespectful to him. But look, it's a really interesting one, Martin. You know, there was no Fridge yesterday, even on the bench, but Kieran said he just wasn't in the 18. He wasn't injured. Maybe a little bit, you know, with him, with his ankle injury, Matt, they might be just taking care of him, you know, because he didn't play no football towards the end of that season, did he? And then he came back pre-season. So we might have an eye on that, you know, just looking after him. But I think Saturday, when that lineup's announced at 2:00, I wouldn't be surprised, Martin, if he comes back in, George Edmondson, because you got to look at. I know Kieran, he picks different teams for different games, but look at the record since he's been here and the clean sheet record. And George Edmondson, I know he got injured, but he's responsible, him and Luke Wolfenden and JD, for a lot of them clean sheets with Christian Walton. So we can't just sit here now and all of a sudden say, oh, yeah, he's no good, Burgess is a better player. George Edmondson is still a top defender at League One level.
God, yes, and they're completely different players, Matt. You're looking at two players in very dissimilar, in very similarly way, but they're not. Is what I'm trying to say there in a very clumsy way. You know, Edmondson's your ball player, stepping out of defence, the same as Wolfenden. Will play perhaps a riskier pass because that's his more natural game. Whereas Burgess is not, by and large, exclusively this, but he is an old-fashioned centre half. Kick it, head it, win it. A James Wilson type. He's getting better with ball at the feet, absolutely. But you're going to see a lot more sort of moments at home with Edmondson because that's who he is, and you're not going to stop that.
Yeah, exactly. There was, I mean, look, even after there was, did he not play the game after Burton? Am I right in thinking that, Edmondson?
He played the home game.
Did he play in that?
Yeah.
On the Saturday, who did we go to? Shrewsbury.
Yes, we were away at Shrewsbury after Burton, so no, he didn't.
Burgess come in, didn't he?
Burgess came in.
But, I just wondered whether or not he didn't have a great game against Burton, did he? So I just wondered maybe if McKenna, the jury's out on current form with him at the moment. I don't know, but like you say, I mean, he'll pick different players for different teams, won't he? And what the level of opposition is. But you talk about risky passing, mine. I mean, I think you're going to see that all through the season, quite frankly. I mean, I think the style we play,
we're brave, Matt. We're brave, Matt, on the ball.
Yeah, and he looks, and it's going to be heart in mouth at times. I don't think Edmondson's that comfortable on the ball for me. Like when he went into the middle at Forest Green, he was literally just giving the ball straight to Donatian, wasn't he? It was almost like a hot potato with him. So I feel like he is a little bit like a Burgess in terms of old-fashioned defending. Is my take on it. And I seem to think back to last season when we played the three at the back, and people were saying, "No, I don't know that comfortable on the ball on that left-hand side." So I don't know. It'd be an interesting one to see. Really, I just wonder if McKenna is fully sold in on him because we're top of the table, stakes are high. You know, when McKenna came in last season, it was always an outside chance that we would break into the top six, and now we're looking to stay in the top two. So I don't know, maybe he might be more conservative in his selections, maybe McKenna moving forward.
Go on, Rich. Finish off.
I think if you want to criticise Edmondson, I don't think JD's been that good the last 2 or 3 games. If I'm being honest, right, he's been outstanding, right, but I think his levels have dropped just a little bit. I'm not saying massively, and he's another one that now we have got players who can come in. So every single game, like I said on Friday and in training, they've got to be on it all the time because if their level falls just a little bit, we've got players who can come in and take their place. I'm not. Look, I don't want to sit here and say JD's had a nightmare because he hasn't. But there was a couple of times yesterday, Martin, he's got forward there. He's had a nosebleed and he's stuck the ball about 10 rows over the crossbar, the terraces.
Yeah.
Well, he's hit a blue shirt, just sat in row B, seat 4. That was the issue.
At least he's got the confidence to go through. I mean, look, we've got these B teams to look at later, haven't we? You'll see on mine that I'll probably sound.
Don't you think now, maybe like JD, it was all down that side last year, Matt. JD Burns.
Yeah.
Now with Leif Davis, it's changed the dynamic of our team totally now.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, like you said earlier, it was too predictable. just going down the right hand side. And you know, you saw them play much further forward than on the left hand side.
One yesterday, it was about 10 minutes in the second half down by the corner flag. He got an absolute lump kicked out of him, Leif Davis, and the ref gives a throw in. I'm thinking, what's going on here?
Wow, there you go. I think what really does help JD in terms of his place is that hybrid ability where you can play right back or right centre back. We can change in game. You haven't got to, massively, because even Leif Davis could play less centre half. If in a game you start with a 4 and you need to
he's better in the air than you think. Not in Leif Davis. There's a couple of times from corners when we're attacking, he's coming in at that far post, so he won't be long. Everyone in the chat and you two, it won't be long before Leif Davis scores himself a goal. So if you're a betting person, turn that £5 into 30 quid.
Oh, I'm still waiting for that.
No,
you haven't. Matt Stannard, Gov. The Edwards free kick still orbiting the earth. Burgess does spend a few hours in his garden each evening looking for it so he can head it when it comes back. But it's probably why they signed Keogh. Daniel Crook has been a great start, especially away from home. But we need to need to be turning those home draws into wins, especially against teams like Cambridge and Bristol Rovers.
We know that.
Good point. Moby. People saying we need 80 goals to go up might be right, but with our quality at the back, we could well let in less than 30, and that could be what gets us up. I think even with the best defence in the league, Rotherham still scored in the early 70s from memory. I'd have to look it up. But so you still have to get between 70 to 80 goals, even with one of the league's best
How did Rotherham get last year, Martin? They
were 74. I thought it was 74. I'll look it up in a second.
We got 67 last season.
I have to look it up because I looked a while ago.
It's not a massive jump. If they scored 74 Rotherham, that's not a massive jump to score 7 more goals, is it? Really, when you look at it, because we won't let in. We will definitely not let in more than 30 goals, Matt. No chance. We don't give chances away.
No.
We give 2 goals away against Barnsley that were from set pieces.
4-4 incoming this Saturday. Then
we give a penalty away against Bolton. The only sort of goal from open play, you'd say, was the goal that Forest Green scored in 7 games.
I laughed there for those listening on audio because Lewis Robertson's latest comment, Matt Penny's costed me a fortune. Had him to score yesterday in the 0-0 draw. I need to move on. You do. How you do? Although I still get reminded about Aaron Drinnan. Wait, no, top of the table in League 2. I was shocked at that this morning.
Yeah. Richie Wellens, good manager at that level.
He's Helmiz.
Yeah, Elvis is playing well apparently in midfield. I don't think is Drinnan injured, Gov, because I've not seen him featuring.
I think he is.
I keep having a little look every week. Where is Drinnan? Is he got a goal? No, I think he must be injured.
I wish people would leave me alone with Aaron Drinnan. Rotherham. I apologise. Scored. I don't know. That's in French. I'm not fluent in my French. Daniel Crack. Norwood did us a favour yesterday by scoring against Wednesday. Hopefully, there's another one Saturday against Portsmouth.
Would you thought watching Barnsley last week they'd go to Hillsborough and win 2-0? Not me.
No.
Just a little bit of a different game, I suppose, Matt.
Yeah.
They scored 70 goals, Rotherham.
There you go. So it's only we only need 3 more. How many did they concede?
33.
So there you go. That's what you're saying, then.
They could get 9 less than us.
Yeah. So, that's with we had Bond not scoring for about 6 months.
It is, yeah. Sunderland, who playoff winners, scored 79, and Wigan scored 82. So it is between that 70 to 80 mark, regardless of how your back line sort of plays.
And Wigan were quite reliant on Keane, weren't they, for a lot of their goals? Was he 20 goals plus?
Who'd have thought you said that a couple of years ago?
we had a little dabble for him before the window, Matt.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
He'd have got injured if he'd come here.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah,
he'd play well in the McKenna team, Wilkie.
Right player, wrong time. He's a good player.
Right. Links in the chat if you want to come on and have your say. We'll try and get as many of you on, but about 25 minutes left of the show. So 15, 20 of that will be for you guys to come on and have your say. Links in the chat. If not, there is tomorrow night. We're live, 8:30. Brandon and George will be with me. Stephen's just a first person to
Matt doesn't know this. Brandon messaged me yesterday, Matt. He said, are you going to Accrington today? I said, no. He said, do you fancy a game of cricket? I said, I'm working, sorry. He was plays at Harwich and Dovercourt. They were playing at Stowe Upland, and they had 8 players, right? And they won with 8 players.
God. Wow.
Really?
That's impressive.
Yeah. There you go.
So we've got Stephen, we've got the Fisherman. If we get time, Colin, but if not, Colin and Maverick may have to go to tomorrow's show, but we'll see how we go for time. Do not go anywhere. Stay.
Callie keeps telling me he's not ITK, but he says Will Keemer's never a target. So you must be ITK, Callie.
I don't know. All this ITK.
Anyway, some great pictures of Callie that the Fisherman put on social media if anyone's seen it. But, but the boobs were too small, Callie.
Football Content Awards, everybody, vote for us. Right, moving it on. Let's have a quick word from one of our partners. Get that done and dusted, and then we'll come to the super subs, the game changers. What did Lee Anderson call them? The finishers.
Ipswich Buses, your local bus company. Don't get stuck in traffic. Ditch the car. Go green. Go contactless. Go Ipswich Buses. Fares available from £2.20 return, a fantastic price and a fantastic service. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town.
Right, Ladapo, Chaplin, brought on. I felt I'm gonna start a big Freddie because he gets some stick. He's not, converted the chances people thought he was gonna be converting. Yeah. Guilty, myself, one of them. But yesterday, Matt, I thought he transformed us. His physicality, his work rate, his presence just transformed us yesterday. And a big part of the win goes to Freddie Ladapo for me.
Yeah, 100%. I was really pleased when he come on for the fact that, I would have started him like you two were saying. And it was great to see him playing with that confidence. And I've never thought his confidence has ever ebbed particularly. I mean, he must have helped with that nice little finish against Northampton on in the week. And maybe, he's got a bit more of a spring in his step a little bit, maybe, should we say. But yeah, he come on, combined with Chaplin, who come on at the same time. Brilliant to see. Great. Again, that's another reason for Coleman getting salty, isn't it? His striker comes on, does his hamstring. We bring them two on.
Yeah. It can't be easy being opposition manager against this, Rich, because you've got so many different strings to the bow that you can't. Who do you prepare for? Because you've got Ladapo and his strength, Jackson and his pace, TJJ and his pace. You've got Hadmi now. We're still really, as Town fans, yet to see
what I see with him. He's only on for 5 minutes. I like what I see there. I thought, you showed couple of nice touches. See, if people are going to say that Jackson didn't have a great game yesterday, Martin, I didn't think John Jules had a good game. I didn't think he had a good. And like you say, I think we need to just pump the brakes a little bit on Tyrese because he is a young player, right? And like you say, it's going to be like that, isn't it? It's not going to be great every week. And I still think my front three. Look, we're going to do our second team soon. My front three, it'd be Chaplin, Harness, and Ladapo, I think. Yeah,
agreed, yeah.
When everyone's fit and firing. But saying that, I wouldn't be surprised Saturday, Matt, if Hadmi starts against Cambridge. Scored 2 goals a couple of weeks ago at the Abbey when they played there for Burton.
Good shout.
A funny feeling he might go with him against Cambridge.
And he have a week of training under his belt as well, won't he?
Yeah.
Because he only come in last knockings.
But is that
whoever we play, I think it's the 2 central strikers, Martin. I think it's going to be either him or Freddie, I'd have thought, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Now?
I was quite pleased when he brought Freddie on first. Gave him that nod early.
I thought the Dapo. I know everyone's bigging up Chaplin, because he scored 1.
He scored 2.
The second one, he's going to go to the dubious goals panel, Matt. I've seen the angle from behind the goal to the side. It looks as though it's going well wide, and it's ricocheted off one of their players.
All the press association people gave it to Burns, didn't they?
They paid out. Sky Bet had already paid out on Wes Burns, and he still doesn't know if he touched it. Now
he didn't touch it.
If we're playing and it touches you and it goes in the goal, I think we all know, don't we? If we've got touching it. Yeah. But yeah, Chaplin scored the goals. But I think Freddie, he done a lot of the grunt work, I'll call it. Mark.
Yeah.
He done really well when he came on, and I've criticised him a little bit. I just think that goal the other night against Northampton, I said at the time, Matt, that could be the biggest goal of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you score a goal like that, and then suddenly there's more expectation from the fans. They maybe gave him that extra bit of support when he came on because previously we were going, oh shit, the Depot's come on, and now you score a great goal against Northampton, and suddenly everyone's back in his ear again. It's great.
It is. And obviously Chaplin, you mentioned there, brought on, he'll take the plaudits because he's come on, scored a goal, possibly 2, changed the game. And we said in yesterday's show, Rich, last year, we didn't have enough big game players step up at big game moments. Now, Stanley away is on the face of it not a big game, but it is because you know what you've not achieved there before.
Yeah.
And your big game player come through at the big game moment. He took the game and made sure the points were coming one direction.
Yeah, but look, we can't keep saying, last season we probably wouldn't have won that game because.
But you would have done because your big game players didn't step up in the big game moment.
We lost there last season, but it is the difference. It is the difference now that we're sitting there and we're still expecting to win. I know it was like the clock was ticking, like you say, Matt, when we scored that goal. I think it was at 76 minutes, wasn't it? Yeah. But I think we do need to believe a little bit more this season that it's not going to be like last season. It's going to be, look, Colin had us down for a 3 or 4-0 win. And these teams, they're no mugs at Accrington Stanley. You know, we've been there before. They might not be as good a team as they were last year, but they're still going to make it hard for you. And if it takes 75 minutes, 80 minutes to score, doesn't matter, does it? No. But some games, we'll score 2 or 3 first half, the game will be over. But there won't be many teams, Martin, I think now, watching Town play who are going to come and try and play us at football.
It's a shame,
you know. It is a shame, but we're just going to have to get our head around that. You know,
you'll get the arrogant, no doubt. Some teams will think they can do it.
The bigger teams, you would. But then again, saying that, look at Portsmouth. Look at Portsmouth last year when they come down to ours. Yeah. You know, look how they were falling on the floor, and look at Oxford, another one they were a playoff contender, Matt. When they came down, played really well first half. Second half, didn't want to play at all.
You said big teams. You mentioned 2. They're not big teams.
Well, I'm saying in the league, like up. Challenging the players. As everybody, I don't know if everyone in the chat, have you seen from the Bristol Rovers TikTok account? Have you seen it about Shrewsbury? Yeah. It is absolutely fantastic. So it's to the Eminem. You know, please stand up, Matt.
It's from Shrewsbury to Bristol Rovers. It's the Joey Barton diss track.
It's brilliant. There's players diving around all over the show, aren't they, Gov? And the goalie falls in the net and he's laying there. No one's touched him.
Yeah, it is good. It is really quite good.
We're going to get a lot of that this season, you know, and we just have to, as supporters, I think we have to just keep calm because in the end, like I said on Friday, you know, some of these games, Matt, you have to win the war first and then your football wins out in the end. And I think there was a little bit like that yesterday. It wasn't as like it has been like there before at Accrington, but it was still a hard place to go. And it was a big win, Martin. I think we need to tick that off as a big win. The next one is going to a Sheffield Wednesday or a Plymouth and beating them. You know,
they're going to be, and one's on the Sky as well. Can we step up in front of the nation?
Well, I hate this. So we'll come on to that as we get closer to Plymouth, but I do hate this curse bollocks. EJ Norris, Cambridge are playing well at the moment, but we're playing better, and we owe them one Saturday. I'm going to go for 2 different personalities, different views. I'm going to go for Fishman first, and then Callie's going to come on second, and we'll see just how different the 2 opinions are, and we'll try and sort of adjudicate.
We could have Callie versus Mike, and we could just go and sit and have a cup of tea.
Well, we could, absolutely. But first of all, the Fisherman stepping up to the plate. Here he is.
Hi, Mike.
How you doing, big man?
All right, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Very well, thank you. What's your opinions? What's your onions?
I've just been laughing my ass off this morning on Twitter. Reading some of the comments is brilliant. Look, the first half, it was a snooze fest. It really wasn't pretty to watch from my armchair. It really wasn't. And we were like playing with 10 men most of the time because our prolific forward striker, 30-plus goals a season, Jackson, may as well have sat on the bench and watched because, quite frankly, that's about all he did. And people can say, well, I don't know what game you were watching, but I'm telling you now, I ain't the only one. Loads of people have talked about it on different Ipswich Town forums. Loads of people have talked about it on Twitter. And just because 1 or 2 or 3 don't agree, that's just about opinions, isn't it? At the end of the day is why he started, I have no idea. Only Kieran McKenna knows that answer. The fact that, again, we were lacking shots on goal in the first half. But the second half, I couldn't believe he was still on the pitch. I'd have took him off at half time. I think you, Rich, said the same, didn't you? I think you WhatsApped me.
Yeah, I would have hooked him at half time. I didn't think it was his game. And then he had that good chance, Mike, when I think, Martin thinks he done the right thing and went low.
So is Alex Matthew.
I know Matt agrees with me, and I know Mike agrees with me. I think where he was, the goalkeeper was.
Hang on, you've not mentioned the qualifying there. Alex Matthew also thinks the same as I do. He went the right option and went low.
Cut it inside the near post. Cut it inside the near post is what I'd have done if I had the skill.
No. The keeper was halfway down. All he had to do was just tip it over the top, but that was in.
Alex Matthew said he did the right thing, keeping it low.
I don't care what Alex Matthew
said he'd have gone. Matthew said he'd have gone.
But Alex Matthew may have done different. If it had been on one-on-one, he may not have made that decision. He may have probably gone with the chip because he was a good striker. He was somebody that you could look at back in his day and go, yes, what a striker. Caden Jackson isn't. Simple as. Well, I don't care what anybody says. If we want someone to run around, why didn't we sign Usain Bolt? Because quite frankly, that's all he does, Jackson. Runs around on that pitch.
What's the commercial things you could get out of that?
2-year contract. Christ alive. Someone called the police. He's stealing a living.
Contracts don't mean nothing, Mike. Let's be honest. But what I would say to you is we do sometimes forget as fans, the other geezer is also a professional football player. He's being paid to stop that shot. And he stopped it by his ankle. Literally, we're talking inches, but it was his ankle that stopped it, and it went wide. He's done okay. I don't think he's a 1, Mike. That's really. I mean, I'd probably give him players a 1 or a 2 in the past, but
that as good as, and that was because he ran. I don't rate the player. I don't think he's a footballer as such. I really don't. I'd struggle to put him in. I'd struggle to put him on the bench at Moodnall Town. Look, I'm sorry, but that's my opinion on Jackson, and that ain't going to bloody change. No. He's got a record. Says he was part of the team that got relegated. He's just another part of it.
He was actually part of the bomb squad, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah, he should have gone. He should have gone. He should have gone. Go elsewhere. Learn your trade. We want to get promoted, and we're not going to. If we keep playing like Sir Jackson each week, I'm sorry, but. That's just God alive.
Jackson, he's 28. He's already learnt his trade by this point. I would argue.
Oh my days! I mean, no respects, but he makes bloody Sam Parkin look like a freaking world beater.
We're not going to change your mind on Jackson, but an opinion that you may be changing on is Connor Chaplin.
Absolutely, got it wrong.
Talk to us.
Absolutely.
What did you say about him previously then? For a bit of context.
Well, look, it's not a case I got it wrong. It's a case of I had an opinion on him.
No, you did.
You get it wrong. You said 2 games. You told me 2 games ago that Cameron Humphries should be playing instead of him.
Look, hang on. What I said, my main issue with Chaplin is there's been many games when he's played and he's given the ball away far too cheaply. Okay, and that's been very, very frustrating. Now, you can't argue with what he's done recently with his goals. We said it before, Cruncher. Maybe he should be playing further forward and not trying to, come back into the midfield and create.
Yeah, he's not one of them ones for me who's going to thread them passes through. I don't think that's his game. Play forward another 20, 30 yards in and around that box. Even the second goal, Mike, is where he should be. Look, it might be his goal, it might be an own goal, whatever. But that's where he should be because he's got the shot off. So that's where I want to see him because he'll do damage there. He'll get 15 plus goals this season.
Yeah.
But like you say, I mean, look, I'm not going to. I mean, I said a lot about Jackson because I knew Callie was watching, and no doubt, Ipswich Town's number 1, no chat. She will come on here and say something. But anyway,
come on, keep it respectful. It's that the opinion, not the person.
What, Kelly? Kelly Bisbee.
Keep it respectful. Attack the opinion, not the person.
Oh, he knows I'm laughing. Anyway, right, seriously, though. I didn't think JD had a good game yesterday. I agree with Cruncher. I didn't think that was his best game. He's not been, shall we say, firing on all 6 cylinders, shall we say. I think he's probably on 5 at the moment. Burns again had another quietish game. But look, we got 3 points. We're top of the league. How can we really be moaning? We can't, can we? I questioned the lineup and kind of proved it really because you had to bring on super subs to save the game really because otherwise that was never, what's he say? So, Mike, you're saying McKenna can't do his job because he said he will pick the players for the game. I'm not saying that. People trying to put words into my mouth. I love it. Come on the show and speak to me face to face.
Ashley's yes. Attack the opinion, not the person, people.
I'm attacking the opinion. I'm saying it straight. You know, come on the show, give me your reasons why. Because the end of the day is, I'm not saying that McKenna. I'm you know, Kieran McKenna is
listen, Mike, I do agree a little bit. I messaged you at half time, and I'll message you too as well. Now, last week, I think he made a mistake against Barnsley by not playing harness. I think we can all agree with that, right? And I do we're top of the league, so we are really nitpicking here. I do think sometimes Kieran, and not just Kieran, Mike, I think coaches in general nowadays, you know, the word I'll use, they try and get a little bit too funky, you know?
Over clever, overthinking it.
They out trying to outsmart themselves.
Yeah.
This is what I was moaning about for 60 minutes yesterday.
Last week, and a prime example of this week. Jackson picked this week, harness dropped last week. Didn't make no sense to me, and still, even now, look, if we're playing Tuesday, Saturday, yeah, I can understand one or two players getting rested. That's, you know, coming off the bench. Get that. But if we're playing Saturday, do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to drop certain players. You know, the reality is look, we're 17 points, better goal difference than Portsmouth. You know, we can't ask for better than that. We've got Derby fans reckon they're going to come down and give us a lesson in football. That's quite funny. I saw that on Twitter earlier.
Friday now. You come into that game. Surely you'll be there.
Yeah, John. Yeah, that night I should be. Yeah, I normally work Fridays, but I can always swindle Friday night off on that one. Yeah, Saturdays is more harder because it's our busiest night.
Unfortunately as well yesterday, Matt, there's no advance on the Mankini picture.
Oh, crap. No, that's fine. That's good. Let's leave it there.
Mike, who would you have...
Mike, now, look, I know there's fans out there that probably will need a bucket when I turn up in it, if I turn up in it.
Several.
But I'm a man of my word. You know what I mean? I've got no worries about it. I
don't want you hanging out the side like Simon was in the in-betweeners when he walked down that catwalk. Do you remember Simon? I said, I don't want you hanging out the side of it when... you know, do you remember when Simon was on the fashion show and his testicles was falling out? I don't want to see that, Mike.
Nuts. Yeah, I don't think so.
Mike, who would you have picked instead of Jackson in the middle role then yesterday?
After scoring Tuesday night, you got to put Ladapo in there, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I would probably agree with that.
You know, you've got to put Ladapo in there, and you know, I get why Ademi probably didn't play. You know, I know the other guy is injured. Edmondson. Someone said to me, messaged me to say that Edmondson had a bit of a thigh injury. That was why he weren't with the squad yesterday. But you know, man of the match, Burgess. Oh, outstanding. I mean, he's £1 million player, and if we'd have paid £1 million for, you know, we paid £1 million for Leif Davis, and everybody's crying, oh, he's got to start with that kind of money. Well, Burgess has got to start for me. He's solidated that position. You know, he's done everything right. I think he's more composed with the ball than Edmondson in that position. Edmondson, for me, plays better when he's in a more central role. Now, that's just an opinion. I'm not saying he can't do the job where Burgess is. I think Burgess is better in that left side. Gives us more balance.
Well, and I'm sure this is something me and you will revisit on a number of shows, because I do feel he hasn't perhaps consolidated it as you suggest. I think McKenna will continue to rotate those two positions, and we'll, as I say, we'll get into it as it goes. I'm sure I just can't see it.
Before Mike goes, it'll be big test Saturday for me if he picks Burgess, Mike, because we'll go back to the Abbey and Martin will still have it that it wasn't a foul.
It was a foul all day long.
Not just on that, the whole game at Cambridge when we played at the Abbey, Mike, Joe Ironside give him a real tough game. He really did down there. So if Burgess plays Saturday, I'll be really interested to see how he deals with him then.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like we've said in this league, there is players in this league that are right little rough and tough shithousery type forward players that, you know, and the fact, like I said, we're not leaking goals. We are scoring goals. You know, I was worried about the amount of goals we would score this year, but if we're not leaking that many, I'm not so worried about the amount of goals. Look, I put 4-0 yesterday, and I think if Jackson hadn't been picked, I think we might have got that score line. But, you know... I'm sure
well,
Callie
on that one, let's see what Callie's going to say. Mike, we appreciate you. Have a nice afternoon. We love you. The audience loves you. Ashley agrees with you. Doesn't make the mistakes Edmondson does. Callie,
You've heard what the fisherman has said. Let's have the complete opposite view. First of all,
Do you wanna-
Jackson, go on.
I just want to show Mike something. I don't know if he's ever seen this. It's a ticket for a game. In a
Hang
stadium.
on. Let me show. Can you show us your wallet? Because obviously that's still got money in it because you didn't pay for that ticket.
Don't worry about that. It's
Anyway,
still
I've
a
got a new
ticket.
nickname for you. Apparently, you're now called Cali Two Caps.
Yeah, man. Fucking hell. So we were, well, I don't know if you've seen the first goal, but obviously that they come over and celebrated in front of us. And I said to my mate Mace, who was with us, I said, "Oh, we're gonna go down and celebrate if they scored this half." And they scored. Obviously, everyone come over. Wolfie comes over, says, "Right, I'm having that cap." I says, "Oh, you fuck!" Right. So I grabbed my cap back off him. And then we just had a little celebration with the lads. Had a little word in Sammy's ear, and then that was it. We, I said, "Look," I said something about Andy Holt's tears and 3 points and stuff like that, and then we just leave it at that. But yeah, man, it was a good test yesterday. I had a feeling we'd come through on it. On the Jackson thing, I get what you're saying in terms of, yes, it was disappointing he didn't score. And, you know, I think his missus and his family were in the stand as well. So it'd been nice if he scored in front of him. Like, he had his little lad there with like number 19, daddy on the back. That looked kind of cute or whatever. So it'd been nice. And I thought he did his job in terms of his pace, which got him in that team. And it was there to tire that Accrington team out. We saw it against Burton. We knew these types of teams that are going to really kind of get in our face, really be physical. And sorry, that referee was absolutely shocking. How in the first half, Wolfie and was it Dave? I can't remember who else. Was it Burns? Wolfie and Burns.
Kelly booked them, and yet they were kicking us all off. And he
they kicked lumps out of them. So Sammy was through on goal. Should have been a red card, not even a free kick. The one that Coleman was crying about. No, that was a fair challenge. Just as much they're talking about their challenges. Evans' one was no worse than anything they did all day. Right, so I actually like that. And just on a side note on Evans, I think that was something that kind of was missing maybe last year in terms of getting stuck in. He was a pretty footballer in terms of nice passing, but I think because he's not a small bloke as well. You think, okay, get stuck in a little, and he's been doing that this season. And fair play to him, he deserves all his plaudits, right? But yeah, on the Jackson thing, I think he's there to tire the defence, like when we got Burton. Eventually, these teams can try. I think we've got one of the fittest squads in the league, like generally like fitness levels, right? So we can go 90, 100, 120 minutes or whatever. Look at, what's his name game? We played Northampton in the week. 92nd minute, Greg Lee bombs it down that left wing on the 91st minute, whips the ball in and Dapo gets his goal, right? We're not tiring. So Jackson was there to kind of stretch them, tire them, and he did okay. And I agree what you were saying, Crunch. I think he's more effective when he went out wide.
He's
not a one. No way was he a one.
Disrespectful of Mike to give him a one. He's nowhere near a one. I'd probably give him a six. I'd give him a 6. He's worth a 6.
Yeah, and if he scores, that's a 7. And actually, it's just Mike D put that comment in. I think it was Mike D or someone put a comment in about Walton's save against Adami at Burton and how we're praising the save. And actually, it was a good save. And I think the keeper got lucky and made a decent save. Like, keeper kind of scrambled into it. Jackson's done the right thing, in my opinion. He's kept it low, gone down there. And, he's at the end of the day, he's a professional striker coached by professionals, right? Well, none of us are professionals there. And sorry, Fisherman, I know you talk about your under 5 coaching badges and everything, but I've got to, I've got to respect. Oh, sorry. Well, no, he's coaching badges. Whatever
the opinion,
level it is.
not the person.
Okay, he's got a coaching badge, but it's not a professional level. We'll agree that. That's a fact, yeah? Right? So,
I've not seen it. I don't know.
Well, do they even exist? That's another question.
I'm not saying that rumour.
I trust McKenna as a coach. I trust what he's doing. And the beauty of the 5-sub rule, we say, and you guys have been saying it, everyone's been saying it as well, beginning of the season, that's going to work for us, and we've seen it. We're coming on, we can stretch teams. I thought he did everything well. I thought McKenna did well. I thought the squad did well. Like, it was a physical thing. I want to shout out Wes Burns as well. So, like, Burns is one of those who, yes, we talk about attacking flair and he gets forward and everything. And yeah, he wasn't great. I don't think he had his greatest game in terms of getting forward. But one thing that really impressed me yesterday was his defensive work. Like, he's always been, in my opinion, a right winger playing right wing back, if that makes sense, right? Yeah. Whereas he's now showing those kind of traits of actually defensively. I know he likes a good slide tackle and everything, but He was winning balls in the air. He was first in between the ball and the player. You know, he's using his strength as well. So defensively, I thought he did really well. And I thought that was the difference for us. Like, we nullified all their threats. There was a slight shaky moment where Burgess kind of let it to Walton. There was a bit of miscommunication, and then they had a little go at each other or whatever, but nothing come of it, which was fine. And then we get the goal. We get a second goal. Job done. 3 points. Andy Holt's tears. On to next Saturday. You know? So it was a good result, man. Like, what are we, 7 games in?
7 games.
What's our point tally? And compare that to last... I think I saw someone saying that it took us about 12 games or 13 games to get to the similar point tally we're at now. Yep. And by then, you know, the pack had gone away. And, you know, in terms of next week, or not even next week, the Derby game, as an example, when we played them on that Friday, does Burgess come in or do you let Edmondson? Because I think Burgess is a good defender, and I'll agree. I think man of the match was between Cameron and Lee Evans yesterday. I thought both were, you know, it was one of them two. You could pick either one of them, right? But I thought, I think if you go forward to like the Derby games, where these teams are going to try and get it on the floor and play football, like you think about, you know, we know how good McGoldrick can be, and I don't know if you've seen the Derby highlights yesterday, but he nicks the ball and sets up a great goal for their first one. They're going to be playing football. Mendes Lang's goal was brilliant. He just skips through the defenders as well. So we need players that are going to kind of are used to playing on the deck. And Cameron, I think he's a good defender, especially in the air. But I think when you talk about those, what they call them, ground jewels, I think Fridge's stats are slightly better. So I'd go with Fridge. I like the shithousery a bit by Wolf as well, when he got a flick on the back of the head and then he went down saying, "Oh, I'm fucking injured." So that was brilliant. But yeah, man, it was good. 3rd time going Accrington, finally got a win, and I'm just happy there. You know, hopefully we never have to go there, but if we go there again, hopefully they'll rename it Ipswich Town Stand, because it seems like we paid for half the stadium. But yeah, man, it was good.
It's a good
And
point.
I just want to shout out Marcus Nash. He's the head of media at the club. Wicked guy and everything. He sorts a lot of things out and everything. But he's proper involved. Like, you know, you talk about our club, and obviously you got people who are working for the club that maybe don't support Ipswich and stuff like that, which is, you know, it's just what it is. They are involved in the club. They want this. They fully get, you know, what it means to us and fans and everything. So I had a good chat with him yesterday. But yeah, man, I'm hopeful. I said yesterday, if we beat Aki, we go up this year, and I firmly believe that. I still don't think we'll go undefeated. I still think we'll go undefeated at home. I don't think we'll lose a home game this season.
Wow.
I don't want to tempt fate and say, you know, go the whole season, because I think we'll end up, you know, like a Port Vale or Exeter away or something is going to undo us or whatever. But when we do get that defeat, if a defeat does come, I think we'll have enough about us to just bounce back and carry on. We drew last week, right? We could have had our heads down or whatever, come out on Tuesday, smashed Northampton, come out today or yesterday or whatever, got the win. So times are changing, man. It's good. I'm just looking forward to the championship next season.
Callie, we love you on the platform. Thank you for coming on and giving us the counter Mike Brown view.
Mike knows I love him, man. Like, listen, on a level, me and Mike are cool. Yeah, me and Mike have a lot of banter, but at the end of the day, Mike is one of those guys I have a lot of time for. And by the way, he's got a bigger pair of tits than mine. So let's just get that out there. Okay.
Again, well, opinions, not the person. We love you, Callie. Look after yourself. All the best, my man. Great opinions there.
Well, I was gonna say, like, when, like you said there with Derby, and Mike said it as well, their fans think they'll come down and give us a bit of a football lesson. We'll bring it on. These are the battles we should be relishing, isn't it? And then we'll see where we actually are in the great scheme of things. You know, you'll be doing well to help football Ipswich Town this season. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree with that. Yes. So tomorrow, we're obviously live at 8:30, talking to extra time. Stephen, Maverick, and Colin will start tomorrow's show with me, George, and Brandon. We've not got the time to put those 3 people on today's show. Thanks to Callie and Mike, though, for their great opinions. I want to get one of the next 2 segments in, which is either the questions for the fans forum or our depth. I think our depth can be moved to later, because I don't think that's going anywhere. That will be what it is. Whereas the fan forum is a time-pressing issue. And I'd like to give some fans at home perhaps the idea of a question or 2. And I know Matt has got to get back to his family day out. You say again, vote us Football Content Award Best EFL Podcast, because Matt's put his family day out on hold to come and deliver a Talking Town presentation.
We've been looking at dinosaurs. Dinosaur World, as I think it's called.
Oh, you've been to see Mick McCarthy?
It's very good, actually. Yeah, I've left them at the fairground bit of it. So, yeah. Mike, I've got 2 good questions for you.
Go for it.
1, sort that bloody PA out. It's 2 people around. Honestly, I had like a sore throat after the bars to go. That wasn't just from shouting in through the match. Too loud. Secondly, the screen's still not right for me. They still haven't sorted out the lettering when they put the teams up. Get it right. It's not difficult.
Oh, get it right. I mean, I don't know. The screen's been better for me, Matt. I mean,
I like having up the score and that and the timing and that, but they keep putting the team up. Look, I've got big glasses. Even I can't read that right. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, if you look to your left, there's the old screen, which would just put the information up. Phillips off, Cruncher on.
I don't think they use that now. When they do the scores at half time and they put them all on the main,
they're on the
that
big
main
thing,
screen.
aren't
They
they're
don't
not
put
on
it
the
on
other
the little score. It doesn't go
Let's
on
stop
there.
reading them out, which really annoys me because as you're going down for a P, you'd be hearing, I don't know,
Yeah.
Leeds 9, Norwich 0, and you go, "Hey, that's great. It sounds good right now. Let's enjoy half time." But you don't get the scores read out
I
anymore.
just feel like they've made such a big deal out of the PA, the screen. That's still not right for me.
Okay, all right. I mean, is it cold in Cambridgeshire? Says Lee Brown. To you, Crunch.
Right. I've got a cold. I've got a raging sore throat.
Have you? Yeah. All
and
right.
I've still got the raging on because that's one of my questions. You might want to leave it till last.
Cruncher with the hump. More humps
Yes,
than a camel.
and
This man.
and you've
We're discussing that tomorrow, Craig. Great points. Struggling to think the last time Fridge was anything better than okay. He takes too many unnecessary risks. Thanks for the point, A. Don't necessarily agree with it. EJ says, vote. Talking Town podcast and Cruncher for the best influencer. You are the best influencer. So what are your 2 questions? Perhaps leave the one you were just referencing there till last so I can cut you off the air.
I might go first. Right, the first one, I would like to ask Mark Ashton, what does he see for year 2 and year 3? Where does he see the football club? And would he be worried, because we're doing so well, that somebody might come in and steal his manager?
2.5 years left on his contract, obviously, Kieran McKenna. Lambert got a 5-year deal when top of the table. How long would you give McKenna? 50?
There you go.
It's a good point.
Right,
But won't that get the usual PR matter of we're not really worried. The contract's in place.
Spin it round because you're public facing.
We've got our eye on the coaching market like we had with McKenna.
Yeah. I mean, look, me and Lee Brown had this conversation at the statue last season. McKenna will eventually leave us for a bigger club, whether that be
Man United.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, it will happen at some point. But we've recruited well here, given someone an opportunity. It's a fair play to Ashton for that, and his support staff on getting McKenna in, because no one really knew who he was when he joined. They're giving him and it's working out great at the moment. You have to trust the process. Hopefully they'll do that again.
I think when you start, as I said at the start of the show, if you start seeing the athletic, ladies and gentlemen, worldwide athletic, writing articles on a League One manager, the secret is no longer a secret, and it's now the sands of time are ticking away. It's not a question of if he leaves for me; it's just a question of when.
Yeah.
And as I said the other week,
it's always the case with good managers, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a while since Town had a manager that was in that position, so it'll be a new feeling for a lot of people. But I truly think football's a fickle mistress, and people will say, why is Alex Neil, for example, gone from Sunderland to... Because you have to go when you feel the time is right to go for whatever reason, be it a personal motive. You are only employed a certain amount of time before your employment anywhere is deemed, well, yeah, but he's fouled there, fouled here, fouled. You got to go when you got to go.
Look at something to the 3 managers previous to him. Cook's now in the non-league game. Lambert's disappeared off the planet. And Hurst went down to non-league, Scunthorpe, and then went to non-league with Grimsby.
And Grimsby fans now say they've got the best squad in years, and they are playing some decent stuff. To be
fair,
fair,
football is a fickle mistress. You just say
it is a fickle mistress. Kevin Keats, new YouTube member. Kevin, we love you and we appreciate you. Right. I almost want to say you've got one of 2 things here. You can either have the Norwood joke, or you can have the second question. I'm hoping for the first time in a long time you want Norwood, but you don't, do you?
Do you not want me to ask this question?
Go on, do it.
Go on.
You teased it
If
out
Matt
now.
says do it, and Matt's the head of communications, then
What do you call him? The wise man.
the wise man. Yes,
Wise man.
He's the wise man.
So, I don't know if people sort of understand that sort of with the platform, we've got quite a good relationship with the club, haven't we? I think.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But still, with certain things that we've done, they still want to seem to control us, I would say.
They've got in contact with us, haven't they? They've been getting in contact with us over certain things.
Over the Jason interview, which they said we shouldn't have gone direct to him, which I think is a bit poor because he doesn't work for the football club, I contacted him on social media. I'm just asking him a question, and he said, "Yeah, come on," which everyone enjoyed. I think it was a great show. If you haven't watched it, get back on the channel.
So, what would your question be?
Word
your question.
I'd like to ask Mark Ashton, why do you seem that you want to control us? We don't work for the football club.
We're not media. We're not media, apparently.
No, we are just fans of the football club, right?
They've told us that.
Yeah, we're just fans of the football club, and sort of. I don't want to get in trouble here because Matt will get a phone call because we always know when something's happened. Fucking hell, you're ringing again.
I can feel my first direct
I just
legal
want to know
insurance.
why they're so controlling and trying to do certain things that we're only trying to help, And Mark Ashton said, I remember one of them forums about people helping the club. Now, we've done some great things on this platform, and still they want to try and, can you do this? Can you put a tweet out? Well, hang on. Why should we? I just don't understand it. If you want to try and control us, give that man up there a little bit more rope.
To play with, not hang myself with. Just you can leave that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that because in some situations we've been treated as if we are media, like the East Anglian Daily Times, yet we don't get any of that privilege. So
you want. Your question would be, I guess, how can we have better cooperation and better communication to obviously work together in what would be a beneficial relationship?
Look, they've given us. We had Connor Chaplin come on. We've had James Norwood. We even had Mark Ashton himself coming here. Yeah. But I just think sometimes all we're doing is trying to help, and it just leaves me a little bit like with the money raised for the disability. I don't really want to go into that, but that does leave a little bit of I'm trying to help here, guys.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help Lee and his team. And when I'm going away and I get a phone call saying, can you put a tweet out, do this and do that? I don't work for the football club. I'm raising that money off my own back, right?
Yeah.
You're trying now to take credit for certain things, which I personally, I don't like. And Martin, I'll say whatever I want. I don't work for the football club. None of us work for the football club. If they want to try and control us, give us a little bit more then. That's all I'll say on it.
This is the most uncomfortable I've been in a long time sat in this chair. Because I don't do this whole, I suppose, conflict for a better word, but this back and forth. And I want an easy life where cooperation is the big word, Matt. I just want the communication, but cooperation where we all just, if it's beneficial to work together, but ultimately it is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And by the way, we have been very cooperative. When they've contacted us, we've done all the things they've wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we've been told we're not media. So it's either one or the other, no?
Yeah.
People know that.
I don't know what to say. No, I really don't. I know Matt's got to leave because he's got to go and pick up his family.
Play Norwood clip to end the show. Just for a laugh.
And yeah, right. James Norwood. Well, not James Norwood to end the show.
He shout out to Norwood. He scored.
Yeah, he did. And I kind of want this to be the last, the last time we speak about James Norwood.
Things like this, he secretly, I think when he
quite retweeted it.
Yeah, I think he'll be laughing. He'll be laughing, and that will fire him up a little bit.
He actually said, quote retweet was the fastest I've moved in a long time, or something along those lines. Okay, so this was a video put out on Twitter about new striker James Norwood. Let me try and make sure I've got the audio for it.
Looks in great shape, doesn't he? He looks in great shape. He's been looking after himself in the summer.
I can't speak about shapes because I'm the biggest circle there is. But here it is.
It's actually quicker than he moved at Portman Road.
That's the rate my takeaway guy, isn't it?
That's who it is. I thought I recognised him.
Yeah.
So this is James. This is the rate my takeaway.
Hang on, he stayed. That can't be James Norwood. He stayed on his feet.
Solid. Same. He's a big legend up there. His YouTube channel is massive.
There we go.
Rate my takeaways. Very good channel. Check it out.
It's a great channel. Yeah, it is. It is. And that's who it was. Right, there we go. We're done for today. Don't forget, carry a conversation on Discord if you're a YouTuber or a Co-5 Fifth Stander. If you're not, you can come on today. Crunch, get some cough medicine for that. And we're back tomorrow, 8:30 for the forum reaction show. And we'll
is that live on YouTube? Are they putting that out tomorrow?
It is live from between 6 and 8 on the Ipswich Town YouTube. Is the fan forum. We'll react to that from 8:30. We've got the three guests, Colin, Stephen, and Maverick coming on to discuss Accrington Stanley. It's going to be a packed show. Get involved. But for today, we're all done. Thank you for watching. He's the Cruncher. He's the Mogul. I'm the Gov. I'm off to go and just edit everything. Love you. Bye.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Oh, please lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you. A long